Hi everyone, welcome to the demo of InterSoul on our beta version. So this is for the service providers that are signing up early with us to showcase how they can get a benefit out of using our pay plans. I will have other videos that are going to show people how they use the starter plan and why you would use the starter plan, which is a free plan. And I'll also have a video for the seeker, so you can kind of see how the seeker would use InterSoul. But let's get started for service providers using our beta version, using the value or the premium plans. So when you first come into InterSoul and you haven't logged in yet, uh, you will see a banner up here that's got what we call our modalities. And when you hover over these modalities, you'll see we've got lots of different service types underneath them. So this will give you an idea to understand if InterSoul is going to be the correct, platform to you to see if you can advertise your services on here. It was a bit hard to kind of work out exactly how we lump and summarize a lot of that because there is so much in the space in the spiritual and holistic wellness and alternative therapy. So this is how we've kind of condensed it for now. This might change in the future because this industry is constantly changing. New modalities are coming out, and it's constantly changing. But this is how we've kind of summed it up at the moment. So important for you guys to know this, because once you set up your business, we kind of ask you to select which modalities you're going to use. So remember that you can come and find what fits from an InterSoul perspective. This homepage might change slightly by the time we fully launch, but the concept will stay the same. I'll get into the join us in a moment. But this is our search functionality, which I will go through in a little bit more. But the idea is that everyone kind of lists all their events and all their services and all their retreats on here. So from a seeker point of view, they really just have one place to go. Now, whether you've got existing robust websites, it doesn't matter. It's still for the seekers' perspective, they still just come to one place, and we can then direct them further to whatever other systems you use. So we're trying to get people onboarded as much as possible. There's also the option to advertise on InterSoul. So this is if you wanted to reach, a targeted audience. Obviously, our audience is predominantly going to be in that whole wellness, holistic, spiritual space. Future products, we want to add things like, selling, whether advertising courses or certain products, or, there's a few other things we want to add, but we're starting off with services, events, and retreats. We've got this functionality that it's going to, once you once you land on our page, it's going to ask you if we can allow to know your location. And it's then going to default in whatever country you are. But you can then come and select here, whatever you're trying to find. You can find by the state or province. But we've also got this discovery search that will find anything. I will talk about the search a little bit more once we've logged in. But the only thing you need to know from this homepage is that if anyone wants to view any of these services, they need to actually create an account. So from a seeker side, it's free for them to join up, but they still need to sign up with an account. So it's either going to ask you to log in, or you need to sign up before you can view any more detail and before you can actually go and book anything. So that's the case of all our services and retreats and events. All right, now it's going to ask you to join us. You're going to join as a service provider. It's going to give you the plan options. So at the moment, it's going to default to the premium plan. Because we're in our beta phase and we've got our first phase, we've got a special that gives you 30-day free access to our premium plan. So once you sign up, the system is going to send you an email to say, thank you for paying, but your first payment is going to be $0. And then after the first month, it's then going to charge you $35 a month. We've got a value plan and we've got a starter plan. So if you want to see what's coming in the future, how we want to build out the system, you can come and have a look here. Like I said, we can do things like courses and job vacancies, potentially products and things like that. When you sign up at the moment for a starter plan, you will get access to our premium plan for 30 days. So after 30 days, we're just going to switch you back to the starter plan, and there will be limited functionality. But I'll talk about that more in the next video. Once you've selected a plan, it's then going to take you to the registration page. There are certain fields that's going to be mandatory. So things like uploading an image, which is probably going to be something like your business logo, um, email address, password, business name, service types, and qualification is going to be mandatory. You don't have to fill in a business number, so don't worry too much about that. Per the service types, as I've said, go back into our homepage and find out where your services fit into. If you don't get it right now, don't worry. Once you've logged in, you can go and update this. Our qualifications, we don't have a list because it's so random. So just enter any of your qualifications in here, and then complete the rest of it. And then once you've registered, if it doesn't pull through, then scroll up. There's probably some kind of mandatory field, or your password isn't strong enough, or you haven't uploaded an image. Once that's gone through, it's going to send you a one-time password to your email. So make sure you've got your email close to you. And then once that's done, it will probably take you back to the home page, and you're going to have to log in. And like I said, you will get a confirmation email from us. So I'm just going to log into my demo account that I've created on InterSoul. So when you log in for the first time, your dashboard is going to be blank. Like this is just going to be one flat line. There's going to be nothing here and nothing on your page to visit. So it's a blank, I guess, canvas for you to come in and fill in. What we've got is a built-in walkthrough for a lot of to follow. I know a lot of people don't like reading, which is why I'm doing this video for the ones who don't want to read our onboarding guide. But really, this guide does step you through each and every single field in this product. Just a few things to note about the guide. You do need to be on the page that you want to select the guide for. So for example, if you're on the business page and you want to follow the guide, then make sure you are on the page, and then you can either just close the guide or you can click next. And the one thing I just wanted to show you, so if you wanted to keep following the guide, see if I click next now, nothing happens. But you actually do need to then go in edit mode for the guide to continue. So if you see, it happens on a few pages where you just have to go and click edit so you can get to the next level, and then you just keep following the guide. So that's pretty much it. So the same thing here. If you're on the services page and you start the guide, it's going to go next, next, and next. And then to keep following the guide, you actually then have to go into adding a service, and then the guide's going to continue. All right, so each page has got its own guide. I do recommend following that. Otherwise, just watch this video. All right, so on here, we've got how many seekers have actually visited your page. We also have a counter for you. We've got a number of followers, so I'll show you where people can go and follow you on your business page. There's some functionality here where you can actually block out your bookings. This is if you use InterSoul's booking system. So if you don't use our system, if you've got an external system where you manage your bookings, that's fine. You don't need to do it. I just want to quickly say something here. So with InterSoul, currently our booking system is only relevant to services. So services is normally your regular one-on-one sessions. So, whether you have one-on-one Reiki healing sessions or sound healing sessions, whether they are remote or online, but it's usually your regular services that you offer. So that's what we call a service. Events, and our booking system is only relevant to services. For things like events and retreats, so we have it under one page, but you can, define it between event or a retreat. They are managed by an external system. So we don't currently manage events just because there are so many other systems already out there. But I'll talk a bit more about that and what we're going to do in a future phase. But just so you know, services is only applicable to our booking system. So let's go back to our business page. So when you sign up and register, some of the fields will already be populated because you put that in when you signed up. Things that you still then need to go and fine tune is really your links to your social media. So we probably will update this because obviously Twitter is not really called Twitter anymore. And I'm sure some people are going to want maybe YouTube or TikTok or whatever. So I'm guessing this is going to change in a future phase. Your about page is really where you go and just, tell everyone about who you are, what you offer. You can make this as long as you want to. I would suggest just playing with the fonts to just see how it looks on the page. So you can click different fonts and different sizes. I would just play with that and go and see what looks best in your opinion. So once you've set up your business page, what you can do, we've got this option here to toggle view as seeker. So when you're a service provider, you have the option to also then use InterSoul as a seeker. So as you can see, I've opened, this is automatically opened up in a new tab. And this is what the seeker is going to see when they're on InterSoul. So you can see what it looks like. And this is where I say you can actually go and play with the fonts that you want to use to see how it shows up. So what the seeker is going to see, they're not just going to see your business info, but once you start adding any services and events and on retreats and whatever else you offer, it's going to start showing in here. So they can see all your offerings. One thing to note is that unlike your standard directories at the moment, what happens if a seeker would come in, they would just find a long list of service providers. We're doing it a bit different. So when the seeker logs in, as you've seen from our homepage, they immediately start searching for a service or an event or a retreat. And from there, by the way, you're now logged in as a seeker. So if you now actually go and say view more, you can now actually go in. So that's where they go and view an event or a retreat. From here, so this is now from the service, that is where they actually go and view your business page. So you do need to add some kind of service or event for people to find you. So a little bit different from your standard service directory. All right, so because you've got access to a seeker as well, just a few things I wanted to show you. Because you're now logged in as a seeker, we've got a little guide for them as well. So what I wanted to pinpoint here is in the search field is what we call a discovery field search. So if they wanted to find a specific suburb or a specific place or specific event or keywords that they wanted to type in, they can use this. And why this is important to know, because if you know there are maybe some keywords or some buzzwords in the industry that people are going to come searching for, you want to put that in your, let's say it's in your service. There's some kind of new cool service coming on, this industry is changing all the time. Then make sure whatever buzzword it is and you want to be found, you put that in either your title or in your description, because our global search or discovery search will pick that up. All right, so that's what this search is for. So because we can't have like a million search filters here, this is more just your all-in-one discovery search. All right, so that's really important for you to then know how you're going to, what words are you going to use in your service. All right, so from a seeker perspective, I'll quickly run through this. I'll have another video just for seekers, but they'll have their own dashboard, and go through this in your own time as well, so you can kind of see how it's going to work from a seeker side. Because when you understand how the seeker is going to find stuff and look for stuff, that's going to help you to know how to set up your business. So the seeker, if you've used InterSoul's booking system, they can view all their bookings in here. They'll have a list here. It will show on their calendar. They'll have a map view. We've also got functionality to create posts, which I will talk through a bit more. But this will be like, think of your Facebook feed or your LinkedIn feed. We can have our service providers post things in here, and people can come and save it as a bookmark. And then we've also got opportunity here for people to advertise, which is not really applicable to you, but this is for people who they're not really a service provider. Maybe they're a crystal shop or something like that, or they sell something that's kind of related to the industry, so they can come and advertise on InterSoul. All right, I'm not going to go too much further into this. Go and play around. This is pretty straightforward how to use the system as a seeker. By the way, you can go and book someone else's stuff, obviously, as well. So you've got the capacity to be both a seeker and a service provider. So to go back in, you can either close this page and go back into your service provider, or you just go log in as service provider, and it's going to take you back to the dashboard. All right, so very quickly here on the dashboard is when you use service bookings, this is our booking system. You can block yourself out for certain holidays. So you can block out a few days or a range. That means that people can't obviously book those days then. Once you've blocked a holiday, this will appear this lighter color that you will see. So it means that that day is then a holiday. Once you've created bookings, which is under this menu here, all the different bookings that you've got on the different days will come up. So you can see that you've got, you've got ability here, and this here shows the capacity. So I'll show a bit more with that in the bookings page. But if there was a booking, it will say 1 out of 1, which means you're at full capacity. And if you clicked on the view icon, it would show if you've got any bookings. It will give you the name of the person and their contact details, so you could contact them. But again, please go and read the onboarding guide. It's going to tell you a little bit more about that. All right, so on the business page, we've gone and viewed through that. Then through services. If you haven't created any services yet, this will just be a blank canvas. You can go and add a service. The guide will pretty much explain it, but you can upload to 5 images. This is all kind of self-explanatory. You can select your services. You can select different countries, different currency. If it's by a different provider than yourself, if it's yourself, you can put it up as well. You can put a little image that little icon pops up when people go and view the actual service. Description, you can give a full description here. This is probably the most important bit. Like if you want to use our booking system, then there's like little icons here to tell you to use it. If it's a regular service that you, let's say throughout the year, like this is your regular business, right? Then I would just put in my start and end date for a whole year, because this is not just a one-off event. This is something you offer regularly. So just leave the start and end dates like that. But then when you do your operating days, you could pick, maybe you do a sound healing one-on-one sessions on a Monday and a Tuesday, and maybe you do it at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening, and maybe you only do one-on-one sessions. You could add another one. See how the date stays the same, but this is really just adding. So that ad really is here for your operating days. So maybe you do another time slot on a Sunday. Maybe you do 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And maybe for whatever reason, you've got you're doing 2 people. And you can just add. And that's how you keep going. If you've got other services, so like I said, maybe this is your sound healing session, then obviously that's sound healing. But if you've got other sessions like, a Reiki one-on-one, then you would have to go and create a different service and then come and do the same thing here. So once you've set this up, that's pretty much done. Like unless you go and change your time slots. And again, if you are on leave and you're going to go away, you don't need to come and change things here. You just go back into your business page, manage your holidays, and it's going to override this. Okay, so that's how you block out your system. All right, but more about how to use this in the guide. If you don't want to use our booking system, then just click external. So put in your start and end dates. Again, you can just put the whole here, but then put in your link. So maybe you do your bookings, you've got an existing site that you use to do that. Maybe you prefer using something like Eventbrite or Humanitics. No problem. Just put in the external link in here. And when the user goes to book now, instead of booking with our system, it's just going to take them to the whatever system you use. So pretty straightforward. All right. So once you've saved it, you can always come back and edit it. So this is one that I've set up. What have I set? Intuitive Soul Guidance Session. I've put in the address. I've put my provided bar. I put an image. I've got a brief description. I've put in my days that I'm taking it in. Oh yeah, sorry, the payment. So what we're doing in InterSoul, we're not really capturing any, I guess, money-related data. So we're not capturing your bank details. We don't really get involved in the payment side. So people can either pay on arrival, they can pay you by a bank transfer. You would have to email them, obviously, and contact them to give them your bank details. We don't store that. Or if you are currently using PayPal, you can put in your PayPal link. If you're not sure how to create PayPal links or you want to start using PayPal, we've got a good little YouTube video. It's really good in explaining the different ways you can use PayPal links. It's quite handy. What will happen is if you click any of these links, it's going to come up when people go and book so they can see the different payment methods. So, and you can make something active or inactive. So this is, if you make it inactive, it's obviously not going to go and show on InterSoul. All right. The other thing I wanted to show you is online. So let's say you're offering online sessions. Then as soon as you click the online button, the address and things like that's going to disappear, and we're going to ask you to put in a meeting URL. And what that means is when people go and search for things, it's then going to show that it's online. And again, you can choose whether it's our booking system or external, so that stays the same. The other thing I wanted to mention, if any of your services are ever for free, then just put in a 0, and what the system's going to do, it's going to put a little tag on your event or your service to say that it's for free. So I just want to show you how that looks. So if I go and view as a seeker, and I've clicked this one as online, you can see now that it's got a little online tag in here. The other thing I've done with my events is I've clicked both online and I've put a 0 amount in my value, and it's coming up free. So just the different ways that it's showing. So obviously if it's online, it's not going to give them a location. But if you use our booking system, what's going to happen is, because we do a lot of emails, so as soon as someone come and book something, they're going to receive an email to say, thank you for booking. You're going to receive an email to say that so-and-so has booked. Do you want to kind of go and confirm the booking? So what's going to happen under your bookings? If someone has made a booking, it's going to say pending, because we want you to go and confirm it first. So under here, there's going to be a list of bookings. You can then simply go and say either reschedule, decline, or accept the booking. And once you've accepted the booking, the seeker is going to get an email to say, yep, it's been accepted. And if they go to their dashboard, then all their confirmed bookings is going to show up here. Even if it's not confirmed yet, they'll get a list of bookings that's been confirmed or not. All right, so in a scenario where maybe you don't have a physical address, then what I've done for one of my friends is I've said to her, use the online function, but put in mobile sound healing sessions, because this is someone who offers sessions at people's homes. So when you click, because if you don't select the online version, the system's going to keep asking you to put in a location. So that's why I'm saying click online, just put any link in there. Maybe it's a link to your website or your Facebook page or something like that. But then in your description, maybe you call it at-home services or whatever you think will work best. But in here, then you can say, experience at the comfort of your own home. Use words like that. So if someone searches for at-home services or mobile services or whatever you think the seeker is going to use, make sure you use those words in your description, because when they go and use that discovery search, they will then find you. And then maybe you've only got a specific region that you service. So I've just said here, servicing the Gold Coast region. So get creative of how you use the system. We might not have all the fields and all the tools yet in our phase 1, but I guess think a bit out of the box of how you could still use this while we're working with people and, keep improving the system as we go forward. These are just something I just quickly wanted to show you. If someone did click on book now, let's just find dates that I've got available. So you can see I've only got Saturdays open, so that highlights, and it's going to select the time. If you had multiple time slots, the multiple time slots would pop up, but otherwise I've just got the one time slot. If I had a PayPal button, what would happen on the book now? It's going to immediately take them to your PayPal account, and they can pay via PayPal. Otherwise, it's all stock standard. They just could book now. Whoops. Sorry, that error is service provider can't book their own service, which makes perfectly sense. But normally you wouldn't get an error, and it will just take them to say, booking's been received, and it will go through the whole flow. All right, let's quickly run through events. So again, when you come up to the events page for the first time, it will be completely blank. You would then have to go and add an event. It's a little bit quicker than adding a service. So again, multiple images. If there's we've got an early bird price option, early bird end date. It's important with if something is a retreat, literally all we do is you click it as a retreat, and then people are going to find it under retreats. Again, if it's online or not, you can have a meeting URL. Event will definitely have a start and end date. I mean, events can be one day or multiple days, but this is where we are not servicing the booking system. So this is where you would either use something like Eventbrite or Humanitics or your existing, whatever other existing system you have. What we are planning for a future phase is we can actually integrate with Humanitics and Eventbrite so that when someone comes and book an event, it makes it looks like they stay on InterSoul. So they don't actually go out to Humanitics or Eventbrite. It feels to the user like it's all just in one place. So that's why we haven't actually built our own event booking system yet, because we know there are so many out there already. So we wanted to just first see how people use it. Is the integration a better option? If not, then yes, we can go and book it. Create it. It's a little bit harder to go and create these event booking systems, but it's something we're keeping an eye on. But yes, so you give the option to go hosted by, which is pretty standard. But again, what I would do, just copy and paste what you've already have in whatever your Eventbrite or Humanitics booking. Just come and copy and paste it here. So that is events. Like I said, it's important to click by event or retreat because that's where it's gonna pop up. You do have the option to save something as a draft first. So when it's in draft mode, it's obviously not going to show yet. So you can always come back and edit an event, make any changes. You can either come here, save and publish, or you can just go save. And then once you are ready, I'm not going to do it now, but if you clicked on the publish button, it's then going to publish and it's going to say active. All right, so those are the different phases. And once it's gone through, I guess, the flow, it's either going to be draft mode or it's going to be active. When it's on the day, it's actually going to show as live when people go and look at it. And then obviously once something is closed or if you've cancelled something, or you can go and delete it. So that the retreat and events are pretty much handled the exact same way. All right, Facebook configuration. This is something that we're going to hopefully have ready by the full launch. So what this will mean is, as I said, on our when you log in as a seeker, they have this dashboard page. Maybe I'll actually take it one step back. So before we get into Facebook configuration, there's this option there where you can go and add a post. This is where, like on a Facebook feed, or an Instagram feed, you go and post something. So it's very basic what we've got, but you can add, different images. You've got a title, you've got a description, and you go and post it. All right, so here's one that I created earlier that I can go and edit. A few basic things in there. And what that post then does, it then comes up on the seeker's feed. So the seeker, again, they can go and search for something in here. They can bookmark something and they can then go and view it in their bookmarks. So let me actually just go and bookmark it. So if they bookmark something, they can then later go and view it in their bookmarks. So that's the manual way of posting something. Maybe you've got something really excited about and you want to tell people about it, or maybe it's just a little bit of an inspo that you want to be seen on the seeker side. The other thing where this now comes in is this Facebook integration. So we still need to set this up. That's why there's no information about this. But if you've got a Facebook page, important to know it's not a Facebook profile, it's the actual Facebook page, because that's the only way we can integrate. What that will mean is if you post something on your Facebook page, it then ideally will then also come in here. So that means you don't have to manually come and go and create a post. You just create it on your Facebook page. It then also shows up here. We can't really do it with Instagram at the moment. So at the moment, the only integration is Facebook. We are currently waiting on Facebook to approve us. So hopefully that is coming. We're working on it. But that's Facebook configuration. All right, this video is getting really long. I need to start finishing. So seekers, once you've got, this is for when you are using our booking system. Every time someone comes and make a booking, it's going to keep track of it. So you can see the number of bookings they've made. You can see what sort of bookings they've made. It's going to have their contact details, etc. I've mentioned before as well as every time someone does make a booking, there are emails involved, so you can get all their contact details. We don't have a live chat function yet. That's something we'll include in the future. So at the moment, if you need to contact any of your seekers, you're going to have to contact them via email or give them a call. So we don't have that inbuilt chat functionality at the moment. So that's for the seekers. And then bookings, I think I've briefly touched on this. So again, if you're using InterSoul's booking system, all the data will appear here and you can come and manage the bookings from here. So that is pretty much how you use any of our paid planned options. If you've got questions, please give me, contact us. You can always use this get in touch. You can email me directly or you can use this form. But happy to get some feedback. Really happy to work with our beta service providers. And very excited to get this up in the air at some stage. Thank you, everyone.